What is going on, y'all? It is Akil here. Welcome to another video. Today, I'm taking you through a foam rolling sequence that you can do for any workout when you wake up in the morning for a work break. If you're working at a desk for a long period of time, grab a foam roller, hit the floor, and get it going, okay? Any questions, comment that down below. Now let's get it going. Before we begin, you're gonna need a foam roller here. The black one here is very soft. If you're starting out, if you haven't done any foam rolling before, I definitely recommend starting out with this one right here. This red one is by Skills. It's got a PVC pipe in the center, followed and covered by foam as well. It's very, very good if you're used to this. There's also a bunch of different options that you can find online, y'all. There's foam rollers with a bunch of ridges and bumps in the center with spikes on them as well too. Might sound weird, but it helps dig into the muscle tissue and neat out all those knots and trigger points in your system, okay? So grab a foam roller right now and pop on down to the ground. Let's get it going. Boom. Now the first thing that we're going to do is going to be for our upper back, okay? So I want you to place this in the top of your back. You're going to put your hands behind your head. We're going to lift your butt off the ground here and then slowly roll to the bottom of your rib cage. Now once you hit the bottom of your rib cage, I want you to slowly roll back up once again. And now I want you to shift your knees left and right. Nice and slow. And then we're going to go back and forth again. Nice, easy breathing as well. Control your breathing pattern here. I want you to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth slowly. It should take about 5 seconds for one breath. Now let's go ahead and place your arms out overhead. And we're going to do the exact same thing, rolling back and forth. If your neck starts to hurt on this, then put it right back behind your head, okay? I don't want any tension behind the neck, so if you need to, just place it right here. But this is going to hit your back muscles just a little bit differently if your arms are overhead. Now, let's go ahead and cross your right arm across the chest. I'm leaning my body to the right side now, and all that pressure is on the right side of my body. Scoot down a little bit more. Top to bottom. If you want a little bit more pressure, go ahead and lift your butt a little bit higher. I'm still turning to the right side of my body. If you feel a trigger point, any really tender spots, I want you to go left and right now. Really dig into that spot. It might take 30 seconds to release this trigger point. It might take a couple minutes. I'm going to leave this up to you how long you want to stay on this. Let's go on to the other side. Nice and slow here. Controlling your breathing pattern. Do not hold your breath on this, okay? You're going to get real dizzy if you do. Nice, easy breathing. Let's go ahead and relax. Next up, we're going to lay down on your back. We're going to place this foam roller right on your neck. Hands are going to go across the chest. Now all I want you to do is rotate your head left and right, okay? Look straight at the ceiling. And now you're going to rotate left and right. Very, very slowly. We're not putting too much pressure on the neck here. We're just trying to increase the range of motion and blood flow. If you're working at a desk for a long period of time, be sure to try these exercises out. I try all these exercises, or I complete a full sequence of all these exercises with the foam roller every single day, just because I get really stiff in my upper back, and my neck, and my shoulders. And relax, perfect. Next up, let's try to get the lat muscles. We're going to put this foam roller right underneath your armpit. Arm's going to go straight across here. I'm going to lift my butt off the ground. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. I'm going to move my body back and forth with this bent leg here. I can also put my hand down to push back and forth. Now if you don't feel this that much, try to rotate in and out as well, just like this. Now it's really digging into the meat of that lat muscle here. If you want more pressure, you can lift your butt even higher towards the ceiling. But once again, always control your breathing pattern. Keep that heart rate low on this. I want you to relax and relieve all that stress. Next up, let's place your arm overhead. Now you might not be able to do this. This is perfectly fine. You're gonna build up to that point to where you can eventually get your arm into this position. If you have a lot of muscular imbalances, this will be a difficult position to get into, and that's okay. Just work at it slowly but surely every single day or a couple times a week, okay? If it's really, really tender, once again, dig into it, go back out, turn back in. Nice and easy. If you need to take a break, prop your butt down. You can also do the exact same thing with your butt on the ground. And let's switch to the opposite side. Same thing. Starting off right at the armpit, arms straight across. Using my knee to push my body back and forth as well as my hand. And that's a tender spot, so I'm going to rotate out and push back in. Out and push back in. Yeah, the intensity of these exercises will always depend on how much pressure you put on it or the foam roller that you pick. Now I also have a foam roller that vibrates, one that has a lot of ridges and bumps as well too. It really just depends on how long after a workout that you do. Let's say you did a back workout yesterday, then this exercise right here is definitely going to hurt pretty bad, right? So maybe the softer foam roller will do better than a really thick, dense foam roller here. Now let's put your arm overhead. Same exact thing, going back and forth. Nice, easy breathing. And go ahead and relax. Next up, we're going to target the shoulders. So I want you to lay on your side. We're going to tuck your arm in, put your left hand down. Now the left hand is going to dictate how much pressure that's going to be on my shoulder here. So I'm going to prop up just a little bit. Now all that pressure, or a lot of that pressure, is on my shoulder. I'm going to rotate in and out. I can also go up and down. I like to do this right after a shoulder day just because it gets pretty tight for me. Especially if I'm really, really sore. This helps loosen up that muscle tissue and those knots. In and out, up, down, in and out, up, down. Nice and easy here. And relax. Let's switch over to the opposite side. Same exact thing. Shoulder down into that foam roller, dig it in. Once again, if you want more pressure, prop that butt up even higher towards the ceiling. Just digging in. This side's a little bit more tender than the last, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time here. Don't forget, if you need to, you can spend a few minutes just on one body part, okay? Yeah, I've had a body part take maybe even 10 minutes sometimes to release a trigger point. So it really just depends on how tense you are and what's going on in your life and what you're doing every day. Next up, okay, we're going to target the upper body still, but we're going to focus on the chest and the shoulder here. Okay, so next up, let's turn this way. Now, what I want you to do is place this right in your armpit, in between your chest and your shoulders. Arm's going to go across. I'm going to have my left arm on the floor, or left hand on the floor. Okay, I'm going to push in and back out. I'm moving across the chest fibers here and going into the shoulder just a little bit. Nice and easy breathing. If you feel that tender spot, you really dig it in. You can also lift your hips and your leg off the ground a little bit. Really dig in here. Next up, I want you to add some movement here. This movement's going to allow the foam roller to dig in even more into your shoulder and your chest. If you find a really good spot, dig in, then add that rotation up and down, okay? Good. Go back and forth once again, a few more times. And rotations once again, back and forth. Now let's switch it over to the opposite arm. Actually, I'll show you on this side too. So, same exact position, right hand down now, and then we're going in and out. And you might notice that one side is just a lot more tender than the last. That's always going to depend on your imbalances, y'all. So if you're right-sided or right-hand dominant, you know, that side's probably going to be a little bit more tender because that side is doing more than the last. And it also depends on what kind of exercises you're doing as part of your training program. Now let's add that rotation. We're going up and down, up and down. And let's go in, out, in, out, out. Add the rotation once again, going up and down. Perfect. This next one is going to be a little bit more passive. But if you have a longer foam roller, it's going to be a little bit better for you. But this is still going to be just fine. I'm going to place this right on my spine, okay? My pelvis is going to be at the bottom of this roller, or you can have your pelvis lay off of it. So right now I'm going to be parallel to the ground, okay? If you want your head to rest on this as well, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes your neck will hurt a little bit as you're doing this. So either or is fine, okay? Let's get right in the center. Your legs can be wider for extra support. Arms are going to be out just like this. If your arms are hanging right here and you can't get down to the ground, then you definitely have, some imbalances and some major tightness going on. You should be able to drive your arms down all the way to the ground, like so. Now, we're going to add some rotation once again to test our range of motion here. Now rotate up and down as high as you can, okay? As far out as you're comfortable. If you want to increase some range of motion here, you can grab some small or light dumbbells, put them in your hands, and then slowly bring those arms down. Little by little, you'll feel that stretch, open up the chest and the shoulders here, and pull those shoulders back. Good. Now, let's have your palms down on the floor. Okay, we're gonna bring that right hand up overhead and bring it down all the way as far as you can and back down to the opposite position. Back and forth here. Give me 5 repetitions. That was 1. Nice and slow. This is 2. 3. 4. Give me 1 more here, y'all. 5. And relax. Let's go to the opposite arm. Back and forth here. Now this side is my weaker side, so I'm noticing that it's a little bit tighter as I come up overhead, but it does take plenty of time. Okay, time and effort and consistency to get to that position that you want to be in. You want to be able to bring this down all the way eventually. Might take a couple days, other people might take a few weeks, or it could even take a few months or even years, okay? It depends on what's going on in your life, your training program, what you like to do. But as long as you can keep it sustainable, that is what truly matters here. And relax. That was the upper body foam rolling sequence that I had for y'all. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Comment that down below. If If you haven't subscribed yet, y'all, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button and hit that bell notification as well so you never miss another video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.